Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundlesssuccess to join today. Let's get you to the next level. We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth. Trade talks underway, the IRS being stripped of weapons, a new high for gold, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Japanese and U.S. officials began the first face-to-face trade talks aimed at securing a deal after President Trump announced his reciprocal tariffs and paused them hours later. As a sign of how important that is, the president made the surprise move to sit in on the talks alongside the Treasury and Commerce secretaries. Without revealing details, the president said that big progress had been made during the negotiations. The administration is hoping to secure deals with many countries before the 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs ends, while isolating China in an escalating trade war. Several House Republicans are pushing a proposal to take some things away from the Internal Revenue Service, specifically guns and ammunition. The Why Does the IRS Need Guns Act would disarm the federal agency, prohibiting the Commissioner of the Internal Revenue Service from using funds to buy, receive, or store firearms and ammo, and requiring the transfer of IRS firearms and ammunition to the Administrator of General Services. The guns would then be sold or auctioned to licensed dealers, and the ammo would be auctioned to the public. Proceeds would go to the general fund of the Treasury for the sole purpose of deficit reduction, the measure stipulates. New evidence suggests Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, whose home was burnt this weekend, may have been targeted because he supports Israel. A new search warrant signed by Pennsylvania police says that suspected arsonist Cody Balmer firebombed the governor's home because of what he wants to do to the Palestinian people. He also added that he would have beaten Shapiro with a hammer if he had encountered him inside the governor's home. Activist federal judge James Boasberg said that he'd found probable cause to hold the Trump administration in criminal contempt of court for violating his orders last month to turn around planes carrying migrants to a Salvadorian prison. Judge Boasberg, who has become a lightning rod on the right for ruling against the Trump administration on immigration issues, warned that he could seek the prosecution of government officials for violating his order. The UK Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the legal definition of woman under that country's Equality Act is based on biological sex, excluding transgender women. The case stemmed from a dispute over Scottish legislation that included transgender women in gender quotas for public boards. The ruling clarifies that single-sex spaces, such as shelters and changing rooms, can legally exclude transgender individuals, though UK anti-discrimination protections remain in place. Supporters, including author J.K. Rowling, hailed it as a victory for clarity and women's rights. Trans advocates and groups, including Amnesty International, condemned the judgment as a setback for equality. The price of gold hit an all-time high of $3,275 per troy ounce yesterday amid tariff-related chaos in the stock market and a weakening U.S. dollar. This surge reflects investor anxiety over economic uncertainty and highlights the significant impact of the tariff policies under President Trump. Consequently, experts have issued conflicting forecasts on how this may influence Bitcoin as well. There are growing concerns that tariffs could directly target imported gold. This fear has led to gold stockpiling within the United States. Major banks like J.P. Morgan Chase and HSBC have been moving large quantities of gold from London to New York. J.P. Morgan alone plans to transport $4 billion worth of gold this month. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.